guys, what's up? We are getting started here on the Give 'em 6 podcast. It's Elijah. And
it's Carson.
Yep. And we are going live here.
Like everybody else. We did it. I knew we could.
Alright, y'all.
Yeah, thank God we did it. I know we could.
Let's get this Facebook Live here going.
We did it. I'm feeling good. It's time to get it. And feed the hood.
If we can't get the face,
We did it.
if we can't get the Facebook Live here going, and not like in a minute, then we'll just abandon that live stream, but that's okay.
Used to walk around with a big old head, little bit. Here we go now, oh my. On the road like roll tight, but I'm with them bulldogs. They been here the whole time. I just cross-side, never gonna get
Whatever. The Facebook Live isn't working. We're not gonna go live on Facebook. Is that okay with you, Cars?
I guess.
Yeah. I hate it when the live streams don't cooperate. Anyway, we will be live on Facebook next time. Y'all, this is the Gonzaga and Tennessee post game. We're gonna talk about a bit about the OC search and things like that.
Yep.
All right. Got my little brother coming in here. All right. All right. Okay, taking a long time to start today, but here we go. We'll go ahead and... Alright, guys. We're going to get started here on the podcast. Hello and welcome to the Give 'em 6 podcast, the podcast where we talk about Tennessee and the SEC East. It's Elijah.
And it's Carson.
And we are back. This is the Gonzaga and Tennessee post game. We've also got on the OC search and a couple more elements here for you guys. How are you doing, Carson?
I'm doing good. Happy. Glad for Tennessee. They were able to beat the #1 team in the nation in basketball. It was just a good win. We had a lead at the start. I was a little disappointed that we kind of gave it up there towards the end of the first quarter, but we got it back. And we were able to finish out the whole game, and I was happy with the team. It was a great game.
It was a good game. So this game versus Gonzaga, it solidified that Tennessee is an elite team. I mean, we were able to jump to number 3 in the rankings. Gonzaga fell to number 4, which is pretty great because, it doesn't always work where they fall that far. So, Carson, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, I just thought that Tennessee was able to move the ball around. I thought we were able to make our shots. Admiral had a wonderful game, 30 points.
Great game. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Just a real all-around effort from the team that really got us motivated.
Right.
Lamonte Turner didn't even play in that game. #1 Gonzaga, they beat Duke in a Duke team that's outstanding. Washington, they had some struggles with Washington 2 weeks ago. They won off of a buzzer beater. So I mean that was a close game for Gonzaga. I thought they came in and they tried their best, but I think Tennessee really proved themselves in that game that they can beat a high-powered team and they can win a championship.
That's right. Now, like you were saying, I thought, hey, Lamonte Turner, he's out. We're not going to win. And that was actually kind of my stance on it. And I was like, yeah, we won't be able to do that. But anyway, guys, just real quick for those watching on the live stream, we got the Facebook live stream. It's up and running finally. So that's a plus. Yeah. Hey, Cars, could you flip your screen real quick? Like that. Yeah. Like that. That'll Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Okay. So, Cars, do you think this team can make the Final Four?
This team can make the championship and win it. This team can beat any team, and they proved it today. I see us. We are an outstanding, more tough, more athletic team than Kentucky is. We have the strength and even larger strength to beat Duke. Kansas is going to be the struggle. Um, Kansas and Kansas and Tennessee fought to the wire. I mean, it went to overtime. And Kansas is a good offensive team. And we are a good offense and defensive team. But I think that if we played them tomorrow or any time, I think we beat them again because Rick Barnes is a great coach and he's able to find their weaknesses. And I think we beat them again. You have to give credit to these teams like Nevada and teams like that are lower. Because they always come out sometimes. We've seen Villanova come out and win championships before, and they play nobody all year, so you
Right.
can't underestimate the smaller teams. But you got to keep us in the conversation, definitely. We beat a kind of a low team that nobody's ever heard of before Gonzaga, and it bumped us down to 7 instead of 6. But I'm happy we're the top 3 teams in the nation. I'm really happy that it goes Kansas, Duke, and then Tennessee. So
It's huge. Now, even though this team is obviously proving itself to be a team that can make the championship, do you think it will make the championship?
um, you know, I think that it comes down to if our players are healthy. It comes down to if our record in our season's good enough, and if we play well in the tournament, don't give up easy shots to Loyola. Because I'm going to tell you something. If we would have beat Loyola Chicago, we could have won the championship. Because I know for a fact we would have beat Michigan, and I
Right.
know that we would have competed hardcore with Villanova.
That's right.
We could have won the championship last year, but we lost off of a finger roll to Loyola Chicago.
Yeah, that Loyola
Which
game was tough. I remember I was listening
you
to it on
know,
the radio. And it was tough, and the Villanova game really was too. I thought we would win that. But
yeah,
this year, I think we've got the power to do that. We have some great players. Speaking of players, now obviously Admiral Schofield, he's gonna be our player of the game because he deserves it. Frankly, who would you say is your player of the game besides Admiral Schofield?
um, Jordan Bone and Jordan Bowden are kind of tied. They really played their parts. They guards that game. They were able to make shots, drive down the floor, make good passes. But um, it was a great game for the whole team. People
That's
stepped
right.
up all around. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Kars, let's go to Admiral Schofield now. I mean, credit where it's due. If you take the time to calculate it out, he has had the ball. He's got it for 30 minutes, and he has 30 points on him in that game. So that means, and it didn't always land like this, but the average amount of points he scored was a point a minute. I mean, that's pretty incredible. You don't see that very
Yeah.
often where a player plays that hard and is able to give their all and make such a really just such a huge effort in the team. I thought that was amazing. What do you think about Admiral Schofield and how he played?
Last year was all about Grant Williams because, it was just like Grant Williams this, which he had an outstanding season. But, Admiral was like the understudy. I mean, he was the guy that was kind of in the background, but you could also see him real well. He was good. And this year, I think he's going to prove himself. I think him and Lamonte Turner are going to be the 2 best players this year, on top, of Admiral Schofield and Jordan Bone and Jordan Bowden. And John Fulkerson, he's in there and
He's
he's
good.
playing good too. Um, but when you really sit back and think about this Tennessee team had players 2 years ago, that were players that come into Tennessee. We didn't even think anything of them.
Right.
And then they automatically they come in, we get our starting five, and Rick Barnes brings in a top five, top three team that these players we've never heard of out of recruiting hardly at all, and they come in and they play like all stars, and we're in the top three here.
I
That
mean,
shows the team chemistry with all of the team that they're able to beat these teams like this. It is so much credit is due to the team, but so much is due to Rick Barnes and the coaching staff for putting together a team that Tennessee won't forget because this could be the best team and best players to ever go through Tennessee basketball history.
it could be. And if we win a championship, that makes it all the better. Highest preseason ranking, and next, if we win the championship, then we keep our good players. The next year we'll have a number one preseason ranking and set a new record. So I'm really proud of this Tennessee basketball team. You know what else I'm really proud of, guys? I'm really proud of our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Visitors Coverage Travel Insurance. You guys should check them out. You can go to our website to find out more. If you travel a lot, they are the solution for you. So, without further ado, let's take a break. Thank our sponsors.
Music has such power in our lives. The way we listen to and experience music is undergoing a profound change these days. To have access to nearly all the music in the world at our fingertips and in our pockets is remarkable. And if that place could actually accommodate and support the artists who make the music, not just the top-tier artists, but the kids in their bedrooms too, provide them all with a home and a way to engage with their audiences, that would be pretty great. And that's what we set out to do with Apple Music.
Millions of businesses count on Fiverr every day to get things done faster, better, and on budget. Fiverr.com is the world's largest marketplace for the professional and creative services you need. Sign up today for free at Fiverr.com.
doTERRA On Guard is one of the most popular blends of doTERRA. Its uplifting cinnamon citrus aroma is enjoyed by the whole family. If you like doTERRA On Guard Protective Blend, you may also enjoy the other products in the doTERRA On Guard product family.
With pain relief, we're all at the corner of relief is good and fast relief is better. Good thing Walgreens gets you in and out in no time, so you can find relief fast with solutions like Advil, at the corner of happy and healthy.
I'm off to bed. Alexa, set an alarm for 7 a.m.
Alarm set for 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Introducing the iAVS 16 from iHome, the first major brand to offer a bedside speaker system with Alexa built right in.
All right, guys, we are back with the Give 'em Six podcast. It's Elijah,
And it's Carson here.
and we thank you so much for tuning in. It has been a really good episode so far. We've got some more for you here planned, and I think this can be a good postseason episode. So, all right, here, my mic's been clipping the whole time. Here you go. Check. Okay. All right, yeah, sorry about that. If you're listening on the edited episode and you notice that my mic just now got kind of clear, it's because I didn't really have it at the right setting before. I meant to, but I didn't, so I'm sorry. Anyway, we're back here with Carson, sponsored by Visitors Coverage. Find out more about them on our website. They are great if you travel a lot and you need insurance, because really when you're traveling you don't want to be liable for a bunch of things in a different country. That's not very convenient. It's not very convenient to go somewhere and not have insurance when something happens. So they're the best out there. So get to our website and check them out. Go to visitorscoverage.com for more. Now, Cars, what are your predictions for this next basketball game?
I mean, you just gotta look at how we bounce back from Gonzaga game. We have to be able to play hard, but keep our mind focused on the whole season. Don't give up any smaller games, because we play Memphis. They're 5-4. So you really have to stay focused on the season set ahead. We played our tough teams like Kansas and Gonzaga and Louisville and Georgia Tech, but right now We need to focus on our conference play, which is one of the most important things in the whole entire season is conference games. But we have to finish out our kind of non-conference easy games, get those easy wins.
That's right.
It will all come to a good thing. We could be on a verge of only losing one game this season. Our tough matchups rest. We'll have Auburn and Kentucky. LSU and some other teams. You just got to watch out for. So it should be a good basketball season. But I've seen teams in the past. That lose real fast. Lose terrible games that are really good teams. Come to the tournament and win the championship. So we just gotta keep our mind focused on the rest of the season.
We do, and that's a big part of this season. It's great to have a win, and we've been celebrating it for forever, and we'll continue to celebrate it. But at next game, we've got to keep our mind focused on what's ahead because there's a lot ahead and a lot to do to get to a championship or the Final Four. And I think we'll be in the Final Four, but the real thought now is the championship. Cars, we've been talking about this. It's been a couple weeks, and we might just we'll see what happens with this, how fast everything happens. Thoughts on the OC search?
It's kind of leading more towards it's kind of leaning away from Hugh Freeze. It's not. It doesn't look like it's going to be him.
No. Yeah. Hugh Freeze is not really in the play anymore.
It's just kind of faded out. Butch Jones took an assistant coach job, offense coordinator or defense coordinator. Hasn't been announced yet at the University of Maryland. So there's some news for you.
Yep, and people thought he was going to go to Maryland for a long time. So that's interesting.
People thought he was going to go, somewhere to a college and not stay an intern at Alabama. He's probably going to get his ring if they win. But speaking of bowl games and playoffs, I have Oklahoma in the national championship. This is why. Kyler Murray, the Heisman winner. Congrats to him. I was going for him the whole way through.
He's good.
I think Will Grier should have been in there, and I think Will Grier should have won. But he wasn't even in the conversation. I think a 5-year senior that has put his heart on the line through this college and had a wonderful season, you don't even put him in there. I don't know. You can argue that Tua, Kyler, and Dwayne Haskins were better than him, but I just don't think so. But who's going to be the better quarterback in the NFL? I think you know that question, and that's going to be Will Grier.
Yeah.
They need pro-style quarterbacks. We've seen Lamar Jackson did nothing.
Yep. That's right.
Doing all right, I guess, for the Ravens. But what about Johnny Manziel? Wasn't he all supposed to be all that? A lot of dual-threat quarterbacks aren't really the best in the NFL. They tried to move Lamar Jackson to wide receiver. That's how bad that they need pro-style guys because of the offensive line is so good. There's no need to run. You can't run as a rookie. Based on that, I think that going towards Kyler Murray is his offense is the best in the country. Will they beat Alabama? Yes, I do think so. Tua will not be the same. I mean, this is just not no tweaked ankle. I mean, he sprained his ankle. He should be out 2 weeks. To even be safe, I know Nick Saban, if this was a regular season, they wouldn't mind having Jalen Hurts in there for probably 3 weeks, depending on who they're playing. He'd probably sit him out for 3 weeks. But because it's playoffs, they're going to push him in a little bit more sooner than it needs to be. I think Oklahoma beats them, and I think Oklahoma beats Clemson or Notre Dame.
Yeah.
In the championship.
I think that Oklahoma will go, and I think they'll win. They just seem really likely to me to do that, and they've got a good team this year. Like you were saying, you've got the Heisman winner there, Kyle Murray. What is wrong? My recording setting keeps changing. I'm gonna hit it. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So we've got them in the mix now. Cars, back to the OC hire. Okay, who are you thinking now? Because obviously it's not Hugh Freeze. Enos got a raise, probably will be promoted to OC at Alabama. There's a lot of people who are out of the mix because of NFL raises. So, what are we thinking?
Well, it's like you said, Enos is Alabama's new offense coordinator.
That's right.
you've heard of Mike Yurvich.
Yep.
It's hard to say his last name, but the Ohio
Urich.
State offense coordinator. You never know. I mean, would he want to leave since his contract's coming up to come to Tennessee? I don't know. It just depends on what he wants to do. But really, I think the best one is going to be the best one. I think that we picked the best one. So whatever Philip Fulmer and Jeremy Pruitt and the other coaching staff they want to talk about, they want to, they'll find the right guy for us. I know for a fact.
So I'll give you my hot list here because we've still got some people. It's really dwindled down. We've got Kendall Briles. He's still up there. You know, it's really unlikely, but he's still there. We've got Mike Urich, and we have Jeff Levy, who our dude Tony Basilio. He thinks that Jeff Levy will be the one, the one there. He says he's going to drive his Tennessee Chevy to the Mike Levy, or to the Jeff Levy, because his Levy is dry. And I think that's smart. But anyway, yeah. Cars, do you think we'll get a offensive coordinator before the early signing period?
Um, I think that we need to because of recruiting. So he can get out there and he can say, you know, I'm the offense coordinator because it's gonna get hard to get your recruits to sign when they don't know an offense coordinator,
That's a good point
especially
because
on the
some
offensive
players are
side of the ball.
incompatible. You can't just
So
substitute
I
them.
think we do get him. I think we get somebody before we head into the signing period. But I think what we need to focus on right now is getting our players healthy. I think the offense coordinator thing will come, but I think it's the players that we need to focus on right now. Really, if we could get somebody that can rebuild the program, for example, like how Rick Barnes rebuilded a basketball program that was honestly worse than a Tennessee one. Coming in, you know, Rick Barnes came into a Tennessee program that really didn't win. You know, we had troubles with the head coach. You know, and just with Ronnie or whatever Tibbet, somebody like that. I forgot his name. But then for football, you know, we had a good team. We have an athletic wide receiver core. Our defense wasn't terrible. We just got they just got left in the dust by Butch Jones. Well, we fired him, so I just think that Jeremy Pruitt, he'll get us there. He'll get us there.
Now, I heard this today, and I wanted to ask you about it. Now, after that win and seeing how good the basketball program is Tennessee a basketball school now?
Well, you can't really say it basketball school or football school, but I think we'll always be a football school. Honestly, too many tradition for football than really basketball. I think, but I'm happy for the basketball team. You know, maybe it will be known as a basketball school later on in years, but I don't think it will change just for one season.
I think so too. Now, Cars. So we've been doing our Twitter follower shout outs. We had a follower, but um, we there's certain things that would cause us to not announce a certain follower if there's certain things within that follower's, how do I explain this, within that follower's account that are not something that we would like to promote on the podcast. So we will instead promote Josh's underscore blog. It's Josh who writes for Tony Basilio. He's great, has so much passion for Tennessee. So thanks to him for following us on Twitter. And if you want to shout out and you don't have, if your Twitter account is not full of things that we would not like to promote as 15-year-olds, then okay. But if it falls within our guidelines, follow us and we'll shout you out. Anyway, you can get some merch, shop.spreadshirt.com/Give6podcast. I got some new merch out. We're still working on some designs. It's not the sleekest of merch right now, but we'll get some new stuff out. Y'all remember to give them 6. Wait, there's a storm coming.
And it's full of orange.
Full of orange. And y'all, Remember, give our sponsors a click. Visitors coverage, they're great. And the Give 'em 6 podcast, as always.
Scoring
Scoring
touchdowns.
touchdown. Thanks for listening. Let's